Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Serena and today I am talking about, do twin flames have to be spiritual? Watch this video. All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. If you're returning, thank you so much. Welcome back. How are you? How are you doing? We're freezing over here in South Africa. That's why I'm wearing a sweater jacket, because it's very cold and rainy out today. But how are you? Let me know in the comments below what you're going through, what's going on for you in this wild ride, in this twin flame journey. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my new course. It is called Relationship Repair, and it is chock full of 7 weeks worth of literally healing, repairing everything I've done in my journey to manifest my twin flame, to get into union, to love myself deeper, to repair ancestral relationships, to repair karmic relationships, to cut out narcissistic energy. Like anything you can imagine that needs repairing within relationships, this course is for that. So if you're somebody who has been watching my videos for a while and wanted to have a one-on-one session but maybe can't afford it, this is your next best option, because you have 7 weeks of literally everything I've ever talked about with somebody in a one-on-one session in one course, and you get that for life. So I won't say much more about it, but if you're interested, definitely check the links in the description below. That's where you can find everything, and we'll see you there. So today we have a really interesting question, and the question is, do twin flames have to be spiritual? Are all twin flames spiritual? And so I think there's a difference here, and there's a distinction we're going to make, which is the difference between somebody that's maybe more awakened and enlightened versus somebody who is spiritual. Now, I know you may be thinking that those two things are maybe the same thing. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But in my personal perspective and personal opinion, I have met so many people, and my twin is one that's included. So this is very much based on what my twin also subscribes to and believes, because we don't actually, fun fact, we don't actually share 100% all of the same values, beliefs around spirituality, why we're here as humans, like what happens after this. We don't share 100% the same ideologies on that. And for a lot of you, that might be kind of shocking, because a lot of us think, especially if you are more spiritual, a lot of us think we want to find this divine counterpart that also thinks and feels and believes exactly the same things we do. And what I'm here to share with you is it doesn't actually have to be like that. If someone's living from their heart, then that's really all that matters. So going back to the topic for today, does a twin have to be spiritual? There is a difference between being spiritual, right, and being somebody who is really like, fascinated with spiritual topics, or fascinated by tarot, or, more esoteric type things, versus somebody who's just more awakened or enlightened, right? If you look at a lot of scientists, you look at Nikola Tesla, you look at Albert Einstein, you look at, some of the great artists and painters, these people were very awakened people. Now, a lot of them were scientists, so they didn't necessarily identify, or they wouldn't have categorized themselves as maybe like a spiritual person. They would have categorized themselves as agnostic, or as atheist even, or, some other type of, devotion. And so these people that are more awakened, what that really is it's living from your heart and your intuition and your discernment, and not so much from, the very linear polar mind. So yes, a lot of these people that were great thinkers, they did have beautiful, intelligent, creative minds. But you look at Albert Einstein, and he literally says that he got a lot of his inspiration from these other realms, right? And from these other streams of consciousness that he was just able to tap into. So it's not necessarily true that if you are a twin that you're going to be spiritual, that you're going to, you can be a twin and believe in God. You can be a twin and believe in Allah. You can be a twin and believe in absolutely no religious systems. You can be a twin and be completely science-based. Because it's not about these labels, and that's what we're trying to get away from. All of these things like spirituality and religions and, all of these different beliefs and systems are literally that. They're just systems to explain what's going on. And so these are all just labels, and these labels, we can peel those back at any point and find the truth. And when you're finding the truth, what's most important, and this is the realization I came to with my twin, and I'll share this in a moment. But what's really important is the truth lives within the heart, right? So we can't necessarily see the truth. We can't necessarily know the truth, but we can feel the truth. And this is why when somebody says, oh, that resonated with me, it's because you felt that validity on a certain level. You felt it within your being, which is a deeper level of truth than just knowing something or thinking something or seeing something. Right? Because that level of truth that you can feel, it goes beyond all this physical stuff, right? And so the point in which that I understood this was actually when I met my twin for the first time. And I'll share a little story because I think it's very cute. So at the time I met my twin, if you haven't already watched this video up here, it talks about the runner perspective, but I was in another relationship when I met my twin. And so this relationship, this partner, we would literally have hour-long, multi-hour-long debates. We would go into different realms. We would channel different planets. We would do all of these spiritual things. Like our spiritual ideologies were so synced. We believed pretty much the same thing. We thought the universe worked almost exactly the same way. But this was also one of the most toxic relationships of my life. So it was very confusing in the fact that wait, we agree on all of these universal, spiritual, source, consciousness things, but yet we're so wounded, so toxic, so narcissistic, and so codependent that it wasn't playing out in physical reality, right? And so that was what was so crazy about it because, and I only realized this literally when I met my twin was the only time that I realized this, because I met my twin and the first thing I thought was, wow, this is what a real king looks like. Because my previous partner was talking all the time about how he was a king and, he was looking for his queen and all of these things. And when I met my twin, I was like, wow, this is the humility. This is the grace of what a real king is like. It's not somebody that needs to prop their ego up on all of these concepts and all of these things. In fact, there are times where I'm actually frustrated with him because of how little he knows. And that's all ego-based, right? That's my own frustrations when I ask him a question and I want him to know it. But he's such a feeler. He feels everything and he knows the truth based on what he feels. And so this was the big difference. And the realization that I came to was, this is a man that truly lives out of his heart, right? He is based in his heart. And that's what a true king is. That's what a true twin is, right? It's not somebody that identifies as spiritual or not spiritual. It's somebody that lives every day from their heart. And so when I was 17, hello puppy, got a little doggy down here with me. So when I was 17 was the first time actually that I sought help from a therapist in my life. And one thing that she told me when we were really discovering all of these things, this was the first real person I had to share my spiritual ideas with and my thoughts on reality and the universe and how life worked was when I was 17. And so when we were talking about all of this, I had asked her a question, because in my mind, someone who's enlightened or spiritual or something like that was, above everybody else. And so she had something really profound to say to me. And she was like, what's the most important thing is that a spiritual or awakened person fills every role in society. So she used the example, and it's literally stuck with me to this day, 10 years later, that she used the example of a spiritual bus driver or an awakened bus driver or an enlightened bus driver. And she was like, what is more beautiful than somebody who is awakened, tuned in, tapped into their heart, and doing their service as the bus driver, as the janitor. And there's probably people that you can think of in these roles that actually do fit these descriptions, right? So think about it. Think about those people that you met, that person in line that was just so genuine and so nice to you. That's what it's about. It's not about believing spiritual things. It's about tuning into your heart, because there is the most spiritual people in the world that can understand the most spiritual concepts. But if they are not tapped into their heart and they're still living, a very surface level life, right? The point of spirituality is so that you can bring that wisdom into your 3D world, into your reality. And so this is why not all twins are going to be spiritual, because we need these awakened, enlightened beings in every possible discipline, in every possible career, in every possible country, in every possible corner of the earth. We need people there to do that work. So this is where we take away the judgment. And believe me, I've been there a million times before. Thinking that having a twin means I'm above somebody else, or thinking that because I'm, awakened or enlightened or on my way or on that path, that there is, that I should be doing a better career, or I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. But it's not about that. It's literally about how can you bring the fullness of you to every moment. And so that has nothing to do with, your religion. That has nothing to do with your labels. That has to do with your spirit and tuning into your heart and tapping into your soul and your higher wisdom and embodying that in every moment. So thank you so much for being here today. If you need any extra help, check the links below. I'd be happy to support you on your journey any way that you need. I'm here for you, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Big love, Serena.